Hello, everybody, and welcome to a look at FloraMancer, a game about growing a garden, kinda, sorta, and then killing things with the plants that you find. I've been playing for about an hour. I just finished unlocking all the generators. I've grown my spell garden. I don't know where all the power stars are. They're kind of like hidden around. The four signs I haven't unlocked. Anyway, the point is, I'm gonna go fight this boss or go through this door or whatever. And I figured, like, I've honestly played it enough to kind of give a good idea of the game and tell you that it is enjoyable. It's quite fun. uh, I've been enjoying it. I don't really 100% know what I should be taking with me to go into this kind of location, so we'll just well, we'll just take what I got, and we'll just kind of go and do that. So anyway, the gist of the game is you're this little dude, the FloraMancer, and you go around and you are destroying some generators, fighting some robots. You can interact with this shop dude to buy stuff. Um, None of these things are things I really need at the moment, but I'll buy them anyway, and I'll just plant them before I go through and refill my stuff or whatever. But anyway, your attacks will depend on the type of flower, plant, whatever you have equipped, which I think is it's pretty cool the way that works. I do like that. Overall, like, I would say that it's a pretty chill and enjoyable experience. There are some things that I think that I would have enjoyed a little bit more. As an example, like, we have the whole garden, that very first scene that I was in, and I get to grow plants, that I can then take to go on my adventure to wherever it is that I'm going. However, you can't propagate your plants from what I've seen, so I'm unable to, like, make new plants outside of the plants that I go and find in different areas, then come back and plant them. And that's kind of not really an ideal situation from my experience. I would prefer to be able to, you know, propagate my plants. Like, I don't have a lot of incentive to plant things if, I'm only going to be able to come back and take that one, you know, harvest that one flower or plant or whatever it is that I've grown. Because I don't necessarily know what it is that I need until I go to a certain location. And these little green patches you can use to kind of plant stuff, which is super useful. But the problem, again, lies into the fact that you don't really know what you need at times until you kind of get to the location. And not being able to really harvest your garden more than just, one flower plant or whatever we're calling it at a time is a little bit disappointing. But I mean, I guess it's a limitation that exists to make sure you don't become ridiculously powerful. Maybe that's really, like, the only answer I was able to come up with for myself to say, like, this explains it. This is why we're doing it. I'm gonna plant some plants just to make sure that I am good to go. So depending on where you are, and how you're planting stuff, you can have some benefit to what you have. I did not want to pick up water. I want to pick up this guy. Anyway, depending on where you are, depending on what you are watering or growing, you can use multiple different things to kind of grow your plants a little bit better. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I completely just butchered all of that. I wanted to, like, heal myself. I feel like it's important. Anyway, yeah, so what I'm trying to say, that I'm, like, failing miserably, is that you can go, and depending on where you are, depending on the type of plant you're trying to put down, It might do better if it's by water, if it's by fire plants, if it's by some kind of wind plant, different things like that. So you have the opportunity to kind of like grow your plants or start them off at a little bit more power than you would um, if you didn't use that to your advantage. Looks like I can grow a ton of stuff here if I needed to. I'm assuming like all the way up at the top is the boss. I'm not going to really bother with all these other guys. Combat itself isn't something that you really have to do most of the time. Pretty much all the things that you use to buy new spells or plants or whatever we want to say, those can be found from the environment itself, which is pretty cool. You don't have to really worry too much about not being able to find enough of everything. As you can see, like I bought like a whole bunch of stuff because I just had like a massive quantity of everything. Essentially more than I needed. So I don't think it's like much of an issue of actually running into the things you need. It looks like here is our, boss dude. I probably should have brought some additional plants. Because I may not actually do enough damage to this guy to actually kill him, which would suck, because when you die, you do incur a kind of stat loss of some sort. You get to choose, which is nice, but it's always, kind of unfortunate. I think Divine is likely the most powerful weapon in the game, or spell, outside of the bomb. The bomb is also really, really powerful. I don't have the bomb with me. Just Divine. And I actually think that I'll be fine. I'll probably plant the fire just to be on the safe side. Oh, look, it dropped some plants. Happy times. Oh, I didn't realize I could use these plants to kind of protect myself a little bit. Is that the water shield? Ah, the water shield's not really what I wanted. No worries though. The boss is almost dead. Huzzah! I have successfully succeeded. I am great, and I have won the game. So that's actually the game. Like I won. Wow. Okay. Not expected. So the game itself takes probably about an hour to play. I would say you could probably do it in a little bit less time if you don't die. I died a total of once, I think. Not really much. Did a pretty decent job, I feel, with collecting all of the different things that I could find and the different spells that you can get, the plants. Anyway, long story short is I think it's a very chill experience. It's something that doesn't take a huge amount of time to go through. There are a lot of additional things you can do. As you can see, there was a bunch of kind of optional quests that I could do. And I didn't do the optional quests because, honestly, I didn't really like the optional quests. I found the optional quests to be a little bit on the kind of long-winded side. And when it comes to the difficulties of making sure you have all of the right plant spells at your disposal when you go to fight things, it just becomes like this kind of process of getting to a location and finding out, well, crap, I don't have all the things I need, and I'm not going to be able to finish this section, and I'm trapped in an area full of enemies, and then you die, and then you lose a stat, and then you have to kind of go back and do it. The benefit is you can use it to your advantage, the deaths, because as you die, you actually will unlock kind of like a new run of those locations. And I don't know what happens after you finish the game if you go back into it, so I'm going to find out right now. But anyway, but if you die, you can go back into an area where you will generate some more plants and other things. You basically just get to kind of go and find new things and opportunities. But yeah, so we got the 3 generators here, which we didn't see because I've already finished them and I don't have other saves. But essentially, they're kind of similar to the battle that I just did, except for the boss is just a stationary thing that you have to kill. So, I mean, overall, I had a good time with it. I definitely think the whole gardening system could have been a little bit better. I do wish that, in this area where I'm growing all my stuff, if I had grown these to full health, I would have been happy if things would have, planted. If, this is full health, right? Max level, neat. I wish I could harvest it, but instead of maybe taking it at max level, maybe I get it at level 3, and then at level 3 I can then use that to essentially just keep it planted so it'll grow over time, so I always have this kind of endless supply. Otherwise you have to kind of, like I said, you have to kind of come back here and do all the stuff. The shop itself, I had bought all those. There is another shopkeeper somewhere on the map, and I don't remember exactly where they are. I don't mind the shopkeeper. I think he looks pretty cool. I like the outfit and the design. What I don't like is the fact that there are such a limited amount of things that they sell. And the reason for that is because if I need ice or if I need wind, I'm going to have to go and look around and find it. You do have some idea after you've gone through these locations of where things might be, but I don't remember where any of this stuff is, so I just have to kind of keep going through and doing it over and over and over again until I find the thing that I want. So I definitely feel like that could have been done a little bit different, but overall, like I said, I had a good time with it. I like it. There's not really much else to show outside of just running amok and doing a couple of things. And this is kind of how the exploration works, where you run around, you plant some stuff, you find new things, and it's kind of the gist. I'm gonna blow up on these rocks. Actually, I don't remember if those rocks blow up. Actually, I don't think they do. But now I have the bomb. I like to show off the bomb. And corrupted love is very, very beneficial to kind of refill one of your magical attacks. There are some stars that you can find throughout the map, which I don't remember where any of them are. I found like 3 or 4 of them. And when you find those, they are pretty beneficial because you can get additional spell slots, additional seed spots. You can increase the speed of your character. There's a handful of different things you can do. But as you can see, it says shifting lands. This area will be new after you die. So after you die, you don't lose anything, thankfully. But or you could choose to lose stuff. But anyway, when you die, you can come back to this location. And it's got some slightly different look to it. Just kind of varies. I've only died once, so it's hard for me to really talk on that one way or the other. I think it's something that's cool to have. It's just not something that I really made a lot of use of because I stayed alive due to my incredibly amazing skills. And then here's our home, dude. We can buy some other stuff. I wish there was something on the map that actually marked it, because again, like I said, it's hard to remember that, he's in different places and you can find it and buy new stuff. Anyway, that's the gist of the combat. Yeah, I feel like I've kind of gone over everything there is. Let's see. Oh yeah, you know what? I forgot to say that I did receive a copy of this for free. I should have said that in the first couple of minutes. Oh well, it'll be in the description. Can't blame a guy for forgetting things at times. Anyway, graphically, I like the game. I think it looks nice. I mean, it's very kind of simplistic. It doesn't really have a whole lot going on, but the pixel art is very nice. The animations, even though they're relatively limited, there's not a whole lot going on. They look nice. They're very fitting. Like, I feel like my little dude is alive and walking around and having, the time of his life. Kind of, sort of. Probably not really the time of his life, but overall, he's having a good time. Music is nice. There's not like a lot of variety in the tunes. I feel as though there's not a lot of music. The game's music reminds me a lot of the soundtrack from Star Farmer, which had a wonderful soundtrack. I really like the soundtrack here as well. Gameplay wise, I mean, as you can see, it's you walk around, you plant stuff, you take the plants, you kill enemies, and you rinse and repeat and kind of continue the process. I do like that it looks like we can kind of come back even after finishing the game to kind of focus on all of the additional things that I didn't do, which is nice because it is a game that you can kind of jump in and play for 20-30 minutes at a time and just, be happy with that decision. Huh? So they are, I don't know for sure it got caught on this video. There have been occasional frame rate stutters where the game seems to kind of shudder a little bit, and I'm not really sure what the deal is. There's not really anything going on at the time that I'm playing it that there's nothing that's going on. I'm entering a new area, but there's nothing that really makes me feel that should be a thing that's happening. But it certainly does happen, and not a huge deal, but just kind of keep in mind that might happen. Burn down trees. Yeah, I don't know. I've got nothing else to say. Like, I mean, the game's out today, the 5th of March, and it's quite entertaining. Like, I had to look and double check to make sure I was correct. So, if you're looking for a game that's relatively chill, that's kind of, I don't know. It's got like a kind of a action roguelike feel to it, but you can complete the entire game without dying a single time, so you don't really make too much use of it. But anyway, if you're looking for something like that and you like planting and you wish plants were violent and deadly, I think it's a good choice. It's gonna blow some stuff up with the bomb, and that's a cool explosion, and I'm going to use that as my opportunity to say thanks for watching. And that is the end of the video, except for I will die real quick so I can show you what happens when you die, and then I will move on, to other things. And then I die and I turn into plants. How sad. Alright, then we're presented with options of what we could do. We could lose our seeds, which could be the best choice for you. It could be the worst choice. We'll lose a spell slot. It's very obvious. And take damage for next life. Well, I'll just lose all my seeds. So those aren't really terrible choices. So it's not like too big of a deal. But you have the opportunity to choose whatever it is you want. And that's it. There you go. FloraMancer. Pretty good. Pretty dang good. Quite enjoyable, a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Oh, and the link's in the description. You can go find it.